Hey folks, good morning. It's early morning here in the shop. Today we're doing a unboxing and basic setup and showing or demonstration of the Milwaukee Rotary Laser here. This is a fun one. It's a great thing. We've already got one of them. This one is for the Hardscape Academy, so big thanks to Milwaukee for supporting the Hardscape Academy with stuff to help teach people better ways to conduct hardscaping and conduct business. So with that being said, here we go. It's 5:30 in the morning here at the office. I am not fully awake yet, but this thing came shipped to us this way, so this is how I'm going to unbox it. There's probably a smarter way to do this, but so it's a beautiful kit, absolutely beautiful box. How good is Milwaukee look? How good looking is Milwaukee stuff? You can't hardly beat it. But this thing comes, the entire kit comes with all that you see here: the rotary laser, the laser receiver, a laser remote, a battery, the charger, a tripod, and a receiver clamp, and the carrying case, which is super nice. So Milwaukee's just killing it with their packaging. It looks amazing. It's so good looking. And you got a keeper on the tripod here. Throw away that beautiful box. It's absolutely lovely. Our laser, our rod here. Now, one thing on this rod you might be advised is this this rod is a full 1 through 12 inches instead of tenths. So a lot of grade rods will have a tenths measuring, so 1 through 10, and that's 2 involved for today, but this is in feet inches here, 1 through 12 that is. And so if you're looking for a rod for both, you'll have to buy a separate rod, but that's a story for another day. So we've got the grade, we've got the rod, we've got the grade now, so we've got the box, the big reveal here. And this is our actual rotary laser here in DOS bag. And these things are precision instruments. You do need to want to treat them with, you know, care. I love these giant handles. It's absolutely awesome. These have the one key system, which I'm not fully familiar with what that is, but you've got your big, beautiful rotary laser here. Try by setting that back down in there. Come on, Caleb. You've got a laser receiver and the correct clamp. It comes with two sets of Duracell batteries. That's great. And then the battery that actually runs the unit, which is the M18 series, which is something we love about, like, now nearly everything we have runs on the Milwaukee M18 system, which is super handy because everything in the company, everything from the hammer drills to batteries and chainsaws. And then again, big thanks, huge thanks to Milwaukee. Absolute dream setup here. We got, we got some extra stuff. Your battery chainsaw is so handy. If you don't have one for whatever, so insanely handy. And then you also got just stuff like the pack outs we've been using for so long, super insanely handy. We'll need to get the batteries into a couple of the key things here. Something so far I like is the easy access unit there, or the pad here, but that easy open situation there. Let's see there, there we go. And a laser is something you will have to have in your business no matter what. So this will bolt or screw onto here, the laser receiver, because again, this is what picks up your signal. When you buy one of these, you want to make sure it has a really large window. I've purchased these in past years where I'm trying to save a bunch of money, and the receiver window is tiny, and it makes it really hard to find your laser field when your laser signal or whatever when you are I must feel like that it was like weird. So, but it makes it really hard. It's got a plumb indicator on there. I like that. And same with this. It actually has one of these on the tripod too, because when you set that up, you want that to be really level. Now the laser does automatically level, which is what you want when you buy a level, laser. But I don't know that even anybody makes them anymore that don't, in a way that don't automatically have laser, or that aren't already self-leveling. Because what you don't want to be doing is messing with the old screw level style, which I've done. I've had them. Okay, so that little easy lock system there, I really like that. So we're gonna open that up, get 2 AA in here, waterproof, that's super cool. Get our batteries in there. So this Duracells, better than the Amazon one that I've been buying. Although for precision stuff, I'll put good batteries in them, but because you gotta have this stuff working when you need it. All tools in general, right? That's the thing with buying quality stuff. You want it working when you need it. So we've got that, it's got the battery charger in it. Let's do this. Okay, now how to set up. So there will be a little screw on there which actually has a protector on it. I'm going to take that off. Okay. And so we're going to take this little screw cap cover on, or off rather. But you're going to, now this will also have a vertical feature too, but we'll talk about that another day. But we're going to take that, make sure this thing is relatively level. By the way, if it's dangerous to set these on concrete. You actually really don't want to do that unless it has a keeper system on it to keep the legs from just, spreading out like that, right? Sliding on the concrete. So you would drive these in the ground. We'll do a full use version of this video here soon, but we're going to take that, we're going to screw it on there. We get our orientation the way we want it, the way it makes sense. Actually, I'm going to put the screen, but we're going to tighten this thing down. It's just firm. It doesn't have to be crazy, but just firm. We'll put a monster battery on here just because it's one I got handy. So that's the great thing. M18 series, whatever. Go on there. So now the great thing we got going is you can see it come alive. What we're going to do is we're going to push the power on button. Choose our language, which will be English, as we are in America. So now it's leveling, so it's getting to how it's sitting. It's going to level the laser head out. And what this thing does is it shoots out a plane of field out, which actually we can turn off some lights in here, which will maybe help people understand what's going on here. We're also going to get our receiver out. Now, I've heard it said you don't want to turn this thing on directly in the laser field. You want to turn that off or turn that on outside the laser field while it calibrates, kind of gets figured out. I have I can't remember what brand it is. Another brand laser receiver. Oops, now it's ready, shoot. So now one thing too, this doesn't double-sided. So again, anywhere that laser hits in here is going to tell us, it's going to beep at us. So for example, we'll see So we're gonna go turn off lights in here and see. But anywhere this laser field is, it's exactly level. Anywhere in this building, it doesn't matter. If it's over here on this wall, that laser is being thrown at a perfectly level height right here. Watch out, so you can see the laser field right there, I think. So you can see where this laser is here. That laser is exactly the same height anywhere in this facility for hundreds of feet, dead level. But you can see where it's hitting on here already. We're gonna adjust this. And we wanna keep the stick plumb. There we go. So we would just get in here and adjust our measurement. So we're gonna, how dark this looks or whatever, but we're gonna get into this here. Okay, so we're gonna turn that down. I know, there we go. That's the sound. That is, okay, so that's our tolerance. Okay, so here we go. Millimeters, inches, inch fractions, which is what I like. Let's go with that. So now it's something a little more legible. Again, not intense. If you're on a commercial job site reading plans, look, so that's telling me the floor. Oh man, we got this thing reading crazy tight. It said 530 seconds off right there. Let's switch sides. So once I get the stick plumb here, there we go. It's telling me from where I originally set this thing based off the bottom of this, we're 330 seconds floor. The floor is off by 330 seconds. Does that make sense? And so we could hit, by the way, there's a backlight button in there. But that's what it's telling us. So anywhere we go in this facility or a job site, if we need that floor level, like we're digging out, we need a level over there and clear over there, we go all along here. So here we put up on this 2x4. So 1 inch and 1330 seconds is the difference. You can see where the light is hitting it. 1 inch and 1330 seconds. Now we can change our tolerance there to 1/8 inch or whatever, so we're not trying to split hairs with that. So we'll go back into our, there we go. So we can change our tolerance, 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. So in other words, if it's within an eighth of an inch, a 1/2 inch, we're gonna go to 8 because we don't need to be that crazy out here. Okay, everything, here we go. So we'll go back on that 2x4. So 1 inch and 3/8, right? And difference in the floor. Now the drawback of lasers is line of sight issues. So, you know, once I'm in the way, it can't see the laser. Right, and then range too, which is, it can only pick up as wide as this receiver is. So once we get out of tolerance there, or once we get out of visibility, and we're only 2 or 3 inches off, you know, then we got to work to find it. So if we're leveling out, you know, area, let's just say on this, let's say we had to grade out and we're still digging and moving. So here we go, we're 1 inch and 5/8 high. It says it needs to go down, the arrow points down. Down, down, we gotta keep digging. Oh, now we're getting closer. Now we're off by 1/4 inch, not bad. So that's how you would begin to figure this out. A lot of different functionality in this thing, a lot of super handy stuff. One of the things I love the most, by the way, and we'll do an egregious example of it, but this thing has axes, y-axis, x-axis. And you can adjust the slope percentage if you needed this pad, let's say, to slope. What we can do is push the XY button and it's going to make an adjustment. We're going to go to Y plus. We're going to adjust the Y here. Whoops, wrong thing here. We're going to hit XY again to go to Y. We're going to go Y plus. And let's say we want this thing to go to 8% slope, which is insanity. But for crude example's sake, let's see, where can we get this most effective? Over there. Yeah, bump warning. So now it's like, hey, you screwed me all up. So yeah, so it's going to want to re-level now since I moved it, which you can't do. And when you move a laser on a job site too, that just screwed up any benchmark or any point you had, so you can't do that. So now it's re-leveling. Okay, now we're going to try to show this in this. I'm going to go Y plus, and we're going to set this thing at a crazy slope. We're going to go to like 12%, just so you can see. That's its max range. We're going to hit OK, and so this thing is going to adjust this slope to 12%. This is a more advanced video now that we gotta get, but what I want to show you, it's going to set that slope field at a huge slope, 12%, which is going to be like this. Like, it's crazy. But if you had to grade out, and if you knew the exact starting point of where that slope started, and again, on a patio, we might only do 1.5 inches or 2%. Let me turn on the back shop light there. But what you can see maybe, but can you see how it goes at a crazy slope crosser? So then as we're digging, we're gonna make sure we got the stick right side up. If we want this thing, see how high off the floor it is now? And then as we go down, we would be cutting or filling the grade. Now look where the laser is versus where, like 12% is pretty nuts, right? But you can see it there. Now it's saying we still gotta go down 1.5 inches to hit our slope if we were cutting this out. So that's super helpful, but you have to know the exact origination point of that so that you can have your plane start at the correct place. To get out of that, we're just gonna hit level here. So now it's going to reset. There we go. And so now it's gonna start back up. And all that stuff, by the way, is able to be done via remote. And so right now it's talking, but this thing has its own signal so that the Bluetooth, or I'm sorry, so that, you know, another laser on site wouldn't interfere with those two working together. Just some really incredible stuff. So we'll talk more about this thing. That's kind of your basic intro to this. Great durable looking kit. I mean, it's Milwaukee. How the heck can you go wrong? Tripod's durable. Got a plumb bob hanger here. Now it does have the plumb dot in the bottom. I've got to turn that on, but I mean, great thing. Again, Milwaukee batteries, you can always be keeping track on that M18, so I can see where we're at on battery. Totally good for the day. Water resistant. I don't know if I can say waterproof, but just killer setup here. And we'll do a video here when we're actually doing some grading, and we'll show you what this thing looks like and does in the field. But for the price, it's fairly comparable to other kits and systems like it. So then the great thing about it is it's a Milwaukee. It's within the battery platform of everything you might already have, and if not, you might be transitioning to. We've had other brands, and they just weren't as all-encompassing as Milwaukee, and so we're super happy to be making everything. And we've been working on making everything Milwaukee for a long time. You know, here next to our beautiful steel wrist buckets, actually our other laser in here. But Milwaukee pack outs, crazy handy, and just the way to go. Our salt covered truck here. So, okay, well, again, big thanks Milwaukee. Appreciate them supporting Hardscape Academy. When we do in-person training classes, this is one of the things we'll be talking about here. When you see the Hardscape Academy training courses, this is stuff we talk about over in that corner, and then outside when the weather's fit, we hold classes once a month through the winter and into the spring a little bit, and sometimes in the fall, depending on demand. So that being said, awesome Milwaukee stuff. How can you go wrong? I guess one quick last thing too. You can see, even though I didn't get that thing perfectly level, the laser itself, the structure itself, it still leveled out and got it just right. And so that's why you want a self-leveling laser. Otherwise, the old school ones, you had to screw, you had these thumb screws you always had to mess with, and that was quite a pain. So that being said, power everything down. There we go. So now it's telling us, hey, no connection. pretty cool, man. These things are so well thought out. It's just incredible. And the kit organization chart. Gosh, that's so smart. I'm telling you, these guys think of everything. It's really amazing. Even with stuff like this, they're just thinking of everything. Again, our pack outs like we've used forever. Amazing.